I don't quite understand how this continues to happen. I'm beginning to believe, and I hate to say this, because I've had law enforcement officers in my family. I've mentioned this before, but that was a long time ago. I'm beginning to believe that the current crop of white police officers has something wrong with it. There is something missing inside the minds or the psyches of white police officers when they are dealing with a black person, no matter what the situation is. There's something that goes just fucking haywire inside a white cop's mind when he pulls his gun or pulls out his pepper spray or starts screaming at a black man behind the wheel of a car, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, show me your hands, show me your hands, get out of the car." The latest example of this, the governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, said Sunday that he is directing the Virginia State Police to investigate a traffic stop during which two police officers held an Army second lieutenant who was in uniform, I'm sure you've seen the video by now, at gunpoint in the southeast part of the state. Now, this happened a couple of months ago, but it's just coming out now. The video now is available. The officials of this town where it happened said that one of the officers was fired. Oh, joy. That's not the issue here. The governor said this incident, and the body camera footage now shows police pepper spraying, striking, and handcuffing a man named Caron Nazario. Northam said the incident, quote, is disturbing and angered me, end quote. Now, Nazario is 27 years old. He's mixed black and Latino. He filed a lawsuit this month against the Windsor, Virginia officers Joe Gutierrez and Daniel Crocker. The lawsuit alleges excessive force due to racial profiling. When this black Army officer held at gunpoint during a traffic stop, was afraid to get out of his car, one of the cops standing, 5 feet away from him, pointing a canister of pepper spray at him, this cop said, when Nazario said he's afraid to get out of the car, the cop said, "You should be." Now, the governor there said in a statement, quote, "Our Commonwealth has done important work on police reform, but we must keep working to ensure Virginians are safe during interactions with police and that the enforcement of laws is fair and equitable and that people are held accountable." End quote. So Sunday night, last night, in a statement from town officials in Windsor, Virginia, it was said, quote, "We acknowledge the unfortunate events that transpired," end quote. Unfortunate events. Think about that for a second. What a way to put it. When a young black man driving a car, this one happened to be in military uniform, a lieutenant, a second lieutenant in the Army, an officer. When he is confronted with obviously out of control cops pointing shit at him, threatening his life, and the town calls that an unfortunate event? Unfortunate? The statement from town officials said an internal police investigation, oh joy, showed that department policy wasn't followed during the incident. Well, I wonder how long it took them to come to that conclusion. An internal police investigation showed that department policy in this little jerk-off town of Windsor, Virginia, that policy wasn't followed during the incident. Gosh. The statement said, in addition, statement from the town of Windsor, quote, "This resulted in disciplinary action and department-wide requirements for additional training were implemented beginning in January and continuing up to the present. Since that time, Officer Gutierrez was also terminated from his employment," end quote. You know, the question I always have is, why does it require additional training to let a cop know you don't do this kind of shit? When somebody is sitting in their car, their hands are visible, you're screaming all kinds of contradictory orders at the person, and because the person is black, one or both of you cops will pull out a goddamn gun, and all of a sudden that black young man knows, oh shit, I could be dead in the next 5 seconds, 1 minute, 10 minutes. They could choke me. They could shoot me. They could asphyxiate me. What do? I better not move. Meanwhile, the cop is screaming, "Show us your hands. Get out of the car. Do this, do that." And that takes an internal police investigation. That takes further training. What the hell is the original training like? Does the original training say, okay, it's okay to start screaming. It's okay to point shit at a suspect. Let's call him a suspect. The bastard ran a red light. Ooh! Now, the victim of all this, Lieutenant Nazario, was driving a brand new SUV when these cops demanded he exit the car last December because he didn't have a permanent rear license plate. When he told police that he was, quote, honestly afraid to get out of my car, one of these filthy cops yelled, "Yeah, you should be." What the fuck? Now, I don't know, gentle listener, what your race is. Are you white? Are you black? Are you Latino? Are you Asian? Are you whatever? But what would you do if you said to somebody pointing, I don't know, what is it, a gun, a wallet, a canister of pepper spray? Who knows? It's dark. This fat fucking cop is standing there pointing something at your head, screaming at you. And you say, "I'm afraid to get out of the car." And the cop says, "Yeah, you should be." What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Whatever you do, it may cost you your life. So what are you going to do? According to the complaint registered in this lawsuit, Lieutenant Nazario, a Health Service Administration's officer with the Virginia National Guard, was in uniform when he was driving home. So now, this is on December 5th, 5 months ago. Body camera footage of the whole incident went viral over this weekend. The federal lawsuit that he filed, which was obtained by the Washington Post and filed in the Eastern District of Virginia on April 2nd, 10 days ago, said that Lieutenant Nazario is seeking at least $1 million in damages, and for the courts to rule that these two cops violated his constitutional rights, specifically the Fourth Amendment. And the lawsuit claims that these fucking cops also threatened to end Nazario's military career if he spoke about what happened. So threaten him. embarrass him, make him fearful, and then tell him, you mentioned this, motherfucker, and we will destroy your career. Where do we live? You don't like my language right now? Well, tough shit. When this happens, what are we supposed to do? What are we white people supposed to do? Here's an awful fact. Before everybody was walking around with a video camera, none of this shit would ever have come out. Or before it became a requirement for cops to video what was happening as soon as they decided to approach a suspect for Christ's sake. Lieutenant Nazario, when he got stopped, immediately turned on his iPhone camera and had it sitting in his car, facing him. But what about prior to everybody having a video camera in their hand? What did we white people know about this shit? I'll tell you what we knew. Nothing. And when we heard stories like this, what was our reaction, huh? Oh, that doesn't concern me. Well, the cops must have had a reason for doing it. And the black folk who were victims of all this shit, just over and over and over again, suck it up, be quiet about it. Nobody's going to believe you. Let the frustration level increase. Let the attendant neurological diseases develop inside of us, stress, anxiety, high blood pressure, diabetes. Just don't say anything. Come on. The two punk fucking cops, eventually released Nazario without charges. This is after they pepper sprayed him in the goddamn face. Did you see the video? They released him without charges. Lieutenant Nazario's lawyer, previously told the Washington Post that the lieutenant has recurring nightmares about this incident. Well, no shit. What would you have, my white brother and sister? Or my black or Latino cousin? Whatever you are listening to this program. Would you have nightmares about that? This would fucking destroy me. Are you kidding me? If I were pulled over because I had a temporary tag in the back of my brand new car and wound up being threatened and verbally attacked and pepper sprayed in my goddamn face, would I have nightmares about it? Yeah. I'm so sick of talking about these stories. I am so just done with this shit. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.